Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Wanted to do something a little different today. I'm lucky to work with lots of juniors working towards getting college scholarships. So this is a player, Sean, who I've worked with for probably a little over 3 years now. Sort of the progression and some of the areas that we were paying attention to. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of an inside look of what that development looks like for a player that I'm working with for over a long stretch of time. So we started off here, 3 years of player development. So this is Sean. First time I saw his swing in person. This is 2019 is when he first came here. So this was the starting swings. This is mid lesson. I took a couple swings here.
A little more load onto that lead.
Closer to the end of the lesson, we were working on getting the weight a little bit more on the lead side, and then helping his club in transition. So that was, October 23rd, 2019. So this is Sean's first assessment when he came to MMG. That's the program I run with Ian Meller. Here is his first assessment with Dr. Atai from the Vault Performance. So I'll let you look at this. Quad engaged, yeah.
Otherwise your knees are going to be bent. I don't want that. But I don't want you to hyperextend your knees as well. You're not snapping your knees back towards this way, right? So like just keep your quads tight and then hinge from your hip and then slowly go down towards your toes. I wasn't expecting this actually. I thought I was way tighter than this.
Nice.
Yeah, after playing soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yours. Actually take your shoes off. Yeah. Perfect. It burns, I know that.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I want you to feel this, all right? So less flexion through here, okay? Feel like your arms are kind of relaxed and you're not trying to reach extra through your torso. And I want you to create more hinge from your hip. You know what I mean? So more hinge from your hip and less reach through your torso. Yeah, perfect. You feel all this?
Yeah.
Good. So you can hold there for 20 seconds or 5 breaths, up to you.
Okay.
All right. And you're gonna do the same thing that like reach down towards your toes. Close your feet together a little bit more. A little bit more. Perfect. Yes. Yes. And then relax your head. Like spine's relaxed too. Relax your spine. Yeah. Now you're gonna feel back here and down here. Feel here too?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Towards your toes. Yeah.
Arms over the toes.
And I want you to take your knee up towards your hip and then grab your knee with your hands. And then I want you to pull your knee towards your chest. Yeah, you feel hinge here? Yes. And then, so what's really important as you pull, right, you can compensate this position by pulling this off the floor. And now everything becomes easier, right? And in the same time, I want you to drive back with your knee straight down towards the floor. Yes. Here, and then take a big breath in. If you feel it's increasing even more pressure in here, do it 5 times, okay?
Okay.
So the other knee down towards the floor, and then keep your leg straight, and then raise your leg as high as you can up towards the ceiling. Perfect. That's one. Hold that, and then pull your toe down. Toe down. Yes, and down. Yes, let it go down. Yes, bring your leg down. Yes. Go down. Go all the way down 90 degrees, and then lift your foot off the floor up towards your hip. Yes, just like that. And from this position, you can do a couple of things. One, we can put the foam roller and squeeze it. Okay? Or you can put anything like pillow, this, whatever you find. All right? The most important thing is I want you to apply tension. All right? And then what are you gonna do? You're gonna do pendulum. So you're gonna take your knee side to side, just like this. So by the time you do this, like if you drop your knees towards this side, and you will challenge yourself that like you can actually feel your left shoulder wants to come off the floor.
Yeah.
So the main thing that I want you to focus on, by the time you drive your knees away from your center, so like you're gonna keep the opposite shoulder blade on the floor. Okay? So if you go right, left blade is on the floor. If you go other way, then yes, just like that. And then come back. Nice. This is also T-spine, like lower T-spine.
And I squeeze in as hard as I can.
Slight tension is fine. Far away from, like, the most important thing is setting up your distance between yourself and wall. Okay,
Yeah.
if I'm too far away, I'm gonna be leaning towards the wall, right? Or if I'm too close, then I'm not gonna be able to apply any tension, because as soon as I push, I will lose my balance, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I want you to keep the distance between the wall and you with your arm length. Okay, so here, yes, this is my distance right here, in here. And then you're gonna have slight knee bend and hip bend, right? Apply tension, and then what are you gonna do without moving your torso? Rotate your lower body and come back. Like no slide. Okay, so what I'm taking, imagine you have a stick on each side, right? And I'm driving one side of the stick towards the opposite side of the wall, and vice versa. Okay, that's it. Yes, maybe a little more closer. Yes, right here. These are slightly bent. You see, like he tends to go this way. Okay, do it again. Okay, this side is good. Let's do the other side. Okay, now you fixed it. Nice. So first one you did was this, okay?
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? Okay, let's feel this. Yes, that's perfect right here. Come back. Do it again. Yes. Nice.
And he's pushing into the wall, right?
Yep. Like slight tension.
Yeah.
That's gonna keep. I'm gonna have you kneel on the floor. Yeah, kneel down.
Come on. Let's go.
Okay, yeah. And now I want you to sit down towards your heels, and then reach. So keep your butt on your heels, and then reach your arms as forward as you can. Perfect.
This is my favorite one
So
to do.
from, you want
I
to
can't
feel?
get my butt on my heels.
All right, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. So from this position, I want you to reach forward, but in the same time, walk left. Yes, keep reaching forward and then walk left with your both arms.
Oh.
Yes. There you go. Until you feel tension building up here. You feel it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. For any corner that you're able to anchor your arm, right? So what are you gonna do? You're gonna take your arm over here, but I want you to just rotate and come back. Rotate and come back. Rotate and back, okay? So, yeah, this arm crosses over your leg here, and now you're gonna push your hip this way. Yeah, and now you apply stretch back here, and then rotate towards me. You feel?
Yeah.
Okay, and then come back. Good.
Should I feel like I'm falling back a bit?
Yes, so like your tension is back here.
Yeah.
This is your anchor, and this is your tension. Like tension is gonna be away from the anchor. So that's how you stretch. And then from here, because if I have a corner, then I have a space to be able to reach towards the corner, right? Versus if I go flat, I can't reach, right? So if you have a corner, you're gonna position your forearms like that. I'm not reaching by extending my spine. I'm still keeping my spine in neutral position, and I just want to create separation through my chest, right? So from right here, this is compensation. Okay, I don't feel anything. So I want you to go this way, like you're kind of opening your elbows that way. Like set your blade means you're gonna peek, like this is your shoulder blade, right? So what are you gonna do? You're gonna squeeze the blade towards your spine and then push it down this way. Like this is up. I want you to go down and this way towards your spine. And then rotate. Okay?
Keep going. So wrist has to stay neutral?
Yeah, wrist is neutral. Shoulder blade is gonna go down and towards the spine. Yes. Oh yeah, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel that for sure. There's also other ones.
That's the sidewalk, yeah.
So the back walk is right now, with the first one, your elbow was tucked on your side, and this one you're in 90-degree position right next to your shoulder. So from here, you're gonna rotate this way, and then you're gonna take a step back. Okay. And this way. So this is how I would do this, right? Finish the right side on this position, and then do the other side, so your right side can rest, and then start with the right side again. Okay, so right, I want your elbow right next to your shoulder, not here. Okay, from this position and up here. Perfect. Now take a small step back. Yes, and this way. Yes. The longer step you take.
So after the assessment, that gives us a baseline, sort of the gifts that Sean has and some of the limitations he has. So then we're building, as Ty showed, those were some of the corrective exercises he's doing. Then we're back out here at the range, working on a couple different things. This is a clip here of us doing the tour striker ball in the arms, just working on, for Sean, matching his body rotation. So he, as you saw in the assessment, when he did the hands against the wall, his tendency was to tilt his pelvis. So he had that same tendency, obviously, in the swing. Usually you see that, typically in the assessment, you'll see some of those pieces in the swing. So for him, the ball in helps minimize the tilting as he would start his backswing. So we're really working on improving the rotation. So if that's sort of his pelvis and upper body or his shoulders here, rotating a little bit more on that angle versus the shoulders going down and then the right hip sort of getting high in the backswing, and then that caused some tendencies in his downswing. So here's a couple clips of that, just going through using the ball drill here. And then this is without the ball. Yeah, draw. Yeah. So part of player development, we're taking players to different tournaments. Depends on their skill level and what their goals are. But here's Sean at his first AJGA. So I'm took him there to get ready. It was a great learning experience for him. I'm pretty sure in this one, I think he shot 76, I think, in the first round, and then even par the second day. I think it got shortened because of rain. But sort of his warm up, you can. For me, I'm just looking at his patterns and his tendencies. I get to watch him on course, get to see sort of his strategy. And this tournament, he hit a ton of good shots. Just needed to get more out of the round. I think this one he actually hit to about 3 feet and made birdie on that hole. He started off super hot there. So then we get back from the tournament. Here we're in a 3D session, so I got him all wired up. Again, looking at his patterns, matching that with what he's doing in the gym, putting all those pieces together, all the slices of the pie together to make sure he continues improving on all levels. So then we're out here doing, the next thing here is a little short game clip. So with this one, Sean had some tendencies where the club would drop a little bit too far under, so I got the water bottle there. He's working on hitting this shot without hitting the water bottle, and then that stick in front actually was where he had to feel like his club head was going post impact. His tendency was to actually drop it a little under and then really wipe across it, so he wasn't getting as much grip on the ball. This one was it launched in there like 23 or something with a crazy amount of spin, so it was a really good one to keep. So we're back at it again. This is actually in my garage. It was like a rain day, and we just had done a 3D session, so he's just working, trying to get some feels. This is improving. So now his tilts and his backswing are getting a lot better. By this point, we're about, a year and a half in working on those patterns. So his backswing's looking good. Now we're into transition. improving the separation. So sometimes Sean's chest would start to outrace his lower body, so he'd sort of get into that type of look. So the drill here that we're doing with the club against the screen is to help him separate and get his lead hip to move forward as his chest sort of stays back, and that's going to keep the club sort of more behind him, versus when the chest move forward to get a little steep, a little narrow, so that you can see here how wide he is doing this drill. And then this was the clip after. I added the band on his right arm just to help him feel like he stayed super connected through it. Now we're back out on the range. Again, we got the ball in the arms. He's getting older now. This is about probably 2 years from that starting video. Things are getting more refined. Little freezer drill here. Always working on the same stuff. You know, I'm seeing him a lot, and we just keep working on those same patterns. Now we're into getting closer to last spring now. This is probably in January or February of last year. Things are starting to look pretty good. He has some tournaments coming up after these swings where we're trying to make sure he's ready to go. So I was happy with the motion here. Again, it's getting a lot tighter, a lot more efficient. You can tell he's getting stronger, he's moving better. Here's a slow-mo of the motion. So face was a hint open here this day, but a lot of good going on. He's rotating it through nice. And as we're going through this, you know, we're in the gym. He got assessed a couple more times here. I showed you the first one. As his body keeps evolving, the assessment changes. His daily protocols change a little bit, but we get to the range most days. He goes through his correctives, you know, some hip stuff, some upper body cues. Then we do some slow swings just to get him grooved and working on the pattern. Near the end of last year, had Josh come in, Josh Kosh, and go through. We did some force plate stuff just to check those boxes. So, you know, from looking at all the packages, what am I looking at? We're going, okay, what are the stats in the tournaments and when he's playing? What's his skills? We do a lot of skills testing. What's his skills test like? How's his movement in the gym? And then what his movement, golf, swing related, what are those keys, and continuing to progress that. We look at the 3D. So I have records of all his different 3Ds over the years and sort of how that's progressed to be more refined. This is just another box that we wanted to check the force plate data. Josh goes through a couple things here, so I'll let you listen into that.
When you look at this, it's very hands off the ball, so hands.
Yeah.
Feet aren't really active.
Yeah.
And then what happens is you try to make up for it, and you keep moving right later in the swing. You see that?
Yeah.
So you're still moving right and down. This is very good. Yeah, I'd clean this up for sure.
Okay.
Step and before the club. So here, then wind up. So here, step, step, then go.
Got it.
Continuing.
Yeah.
Then it goes around. Yeah. That's more what we want, like more off the left. That goes like that. And he's so good. He's a perfect example of shutting his right side off and getting to his lead side, because we see that the brakes come up here on waiting cleanup.
So as you heard there with the force plate, Sean was just a little late with his pressure off his right foot, so he would just drift a little bit too long to his right side. So we started working on the timing of that pressure spike under the right foot just to help get the forces coming up so he could stop his torso from swaying too far off the ball. So that was what we started to work on here. You could see I added the towel under his arm. Not a huge fan of that drill for a lot of people, but for Sean, sometimes he wanted to lift. So now the pressure spiking on the right arm, keep that right arm tight, the ball in there. It just gave him something that, again, daily protocols, things he could work on every day. So I'll play this one through. So that we let the head cover fall out at the end, no problem. He was swinging super good, and that sort of led into this tournament. So this was a one on the other side of town here, right by Lake Nona. First round, I think he hit 16 greens. The second round, he hit 17 greens. Couldn't buy a putt, unfortunately, but he still shot. The second day, he shot 4 under. First day, he shot 1 under, so he finished 5 under for the event. So a nice stepping stone. And then following that, he goes back to the UK for the summer. So we would check in online and do sort of every, I would say 3 weeks, we would make sure we do a check-in, make sure he's doing his things. I'd be checking his stats. This is when he's at home playing. I think this is at the Caris he played in. Here's a little look at, this is just Sean's Instagram here, him going through his progression and his development, just some highlights of what he's up to and what he's doing in the swing. And then last week, Sean got to play in this great tournament at home again. It's an interesting format. It's like it's going to test your toughness because it's 36 the first day, and then there's a cut, and then 36 the second day. You can see here some of the past winners: Westwood, Brian Davis, Justin Rose. So obviously a very established tournament, and Sean, I was pumped for him. First day 75-75, and then so made the cut, and then 68-70 to finish at 288. 8 shots off the lead, but still really strong field and obviously a solid event. So Sean's now, he just got back to the US. We're getting ready to amp him up for his senior year in high school. So that's a little bit of a look at, player development and over a 3-year span, sort of where he started and now where he currently is. And more swing related. I could list off all the scores, but I thought it'd be interesting just so you could see like the assessment and the swing progression, the swing drills, some of the looks at the tournaments and what we're doing there. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any more questions for me, please leave a comment below. I'd happy to answer, and we'll see what we can do for Sean this year. Exciting year ahead.